Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. We got quite the audience today. Nice to see all you ladies. This is day 3. Welcome to day 3. We're excited to have all of you here today. And we know most of you have joined us before, but for those of you that haven't, my name is Alan from Vancouver, Canada, here with Miss Helen Fong, the Toned at 50. And these calls are all about helping you transform your body, get total and complete control based on what we've learned and what we believe works from our own trials, from our own ups and downs. And we're just here to share Helen's experiences and her knowledge, as well as mine, to help give you a fast track on what you can do to create the body that you desire, no matter what the age. We don't believe in that stigma of once you get too old, that's it, it's over and done. We don't believe that. And instead of a guy like me just blabbing my mouth saying it, a real life example like Helen is right here to prove it. So, I also want to say real quick that we have a winner, and that was from yesterday's call. So if you had a chance to do the homework, and you had a chance to upload your content in the group, we want to know. We want to let you know that we've well, actually, I didn't. Helen was the one to choose the winner for today. And the winner is... I'll have to wait for the call. I'll have to wait to the end of the call. I know some of you are looking at me right now like, I can't believe you just did that.
We're getting more comfortable with this lady, so it's okay.
Absolutely. And that's what makes it fun, right? It's just having that little anticipation. But remember, it's not just about the prize. The prize is great. She's so happy to share that with you. We're so happy to share our time and effort with you. But it's really, the real prize is you waking up in the morning, looking at your body, and realizing, hey, I'm a little better today than I was yesterday. And that accumulation over days, weeks, months, oh my goodness. We want those messages from all of you in the months to come, where you message us and say, Alan, Helen, I can't believe this is my body now. Thank you so much. And we're gonna pour everything in these next few days to make sure that happens for you. So, Miss Helen, can you do us the honors of discussing today's subjects?
Okay, good morning, ladies. I have to thank you all ladies who make my my presence here a little bit more comfortable. Seeing you ladies go on live videos, I know you guys ladies feel uncomfortable, but because you ladies do that, it make my days here, it made me more relaxed. As you can tell, some of my shows I was so nervous. I don't know why, but it happens, right? So I'm sure some of you ladies feel the same thing too. But because you ladies post so many videos about yourself, it gave me a chance to know who you are, and give us a chance how we can help you, so we can be a little more authentic and be real.
Right. All right. Absolutely.
Right. Well, early in this morning, 30 minutes ago, both of us really wanted to give you ladies all the best tips. What we know, what I know what, and Ellen knows how. And I invited you all ladies, so many of you. I'm so flattered. But I like to get to know so many of your stories, and again, where we can help you. Right, and everybody's different, every journey is different, every reason you hear is also different. So I understand the last 2 days we focus on your drive. What is the reason you wanted to transform? I have my story. I'm sure you have your own story. And then yesterday, the next 7 days, we're going to give you like step 1, step 2, right? I understand the first 2 days. Some of you might not think it's important. Some of you ladies here just want to come in and want to see the workout or what I eat. But the last 2 days, we went on more important steps into why. And because, as I mentioned, it will be very difficult along the journey. You will encounter obstacles. The reason we talk about the first day, second day will help you overcome that, because that's what happened to me in the gym or at home when you experience pain. days that you don't want to go, right? So today we're going to talk about, you have the mindset, you know what you want, and then yesterday before you start your journey, you want to hydrate your body. And then today, now we're going to focus on the exercise that will really, really help you look amazing, will give you the look of someone perhaps half your age. Well, it all started for me was in the past, I was never, there are days, my lifestyle was like a yo-yo, what do you call it?
It's up, which means to say is it was an up and down progression.
Yeah.
It wasn't
so as a mom, or three, there are times I would be busy. There are times my body would I would be very skinny. Then times there would be times in my life I can gain weight like overnight, right? And that's just my body. I didn't know why, but if I want to lose the pounds to some weight, I'll just starve myself or strict on my calories. But then it wasn't really hit me until one day during my husband's 50th birthday. I put on this dress. I look when I look in the mirror, I look okay. My boobs got smaller, but I can stuff it with pads, right? It look okay. But then I turned around, I couldn't see my glutes. Where's my glutes?
What do you mean? Can you define that when you say what happened to my butt? Like, where's my butt? What do you mean?
My glutes were so flat, I couldn't tell they were my glutes or my thighs. There was no shape coming, like, the S shape, would you call it, that gives you the arch look. I mean, I look fine at the, like in front, right? Beautiful dress. But, again, if you want to boost up your boob, you can wear padded bras or whatever. But I couldn't do that with my back. And then when I look, in the back, my back looks so flat, looks so straight, like a pencil, like a piece of paper. And then I was depressed. I said, oh no. And then that's when I went jogging. Jogging didn't help. And instead it gave me knee pain, right? So I thought, maybe I'll do something about it. It didn't help until Ellen introduced me to target exercise that really target my glutes. He put me on workouts that like deadlifts or squats that just focus on my glutes. And I didn't have to focus on running like I used to. I used to go running. I thought, make me look strong, make me feel good, but not the type that would help my glutes. So ever since I was put on the exercise that focused basically 2 or 3 times focus on glutes, I didn't know seriously it would help. But to my surprise, 3 months later, you can see when I put on the jeans, my jeans fit nicely. And it's just like in your 20s, the glutes seem to grow. It feels fuller and the muscles higher. And that's what I noticed. And I now when I put a dress on, I look good. And I'm not afraid to wear bikinis now. For years I that's it, I have to put my bikinis away because I didn't look good. And yes, that was when I started realize weightlifting and targeting certain parts of your body. For example, many ladies, for you, I'm sure when you wanted to want to tone yourself, most of you might just go for walks or just perhaps go for a jog. But I noticed that there's a specific exercise that might help you.
Right, absolutely. No, that's really important, and I'm glad that you brought that up. Thank you. When it comes to training, and this is common, okay, this is common for all of us when we're first starting or when we're transitioning or trying to focus on something specific. I mean, let me ask you, have you ever done some sort of exercise routine where you thought, okay, this is it. Like, I'm going to be able to make my transformation. And a few days go by, a few weeks go by, maybe a few months go by. And all of a sudden, the motivation to keep going starts to lower because the results just don't seem to be showing up or appearing the way that we would have expected it to. Well, if you've ever felt that way, again, as we always say, you're not alone and it's not your fault. We're here to make some clarity on why that happens. And that's why I brought it up, because one of the constant challenges that we're always going to have is whenever we're doing something new, and specifically when we're talking about making a body transformation, it's really important that when you start trying something new, allow yourself 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times where you try it on your own, you notice if it's working or if it's not, and you make small incremental adjustments before you make the decision of, okay, this is good for me, or no way, this sucks. And I'm bringing this up because, see, in comparison, if you were working with someone, let's say you had a coach, let's say you had a trainer, let's say COVID-19 never happened and you were able to go to a fitness facility, hire somebody for a day and have them stand right next to you, the guesswork would be completely eradicated and your ability to get results fast would happen not immediately, but very quick, because the guesswork is completely gone. But in this case, because we're online, because you're working out by yourself, by majority, and you're taking the advice from us and anybody else that you gain knowledge from, a lot of it is going to be take the knowledge, try it yourself. But you know just as well as we do, how many times have you tried to do something completely on your own and then got a little frustrated because it didn't quite work out the way you might have thought that it would, right? Before we get into the details on how, I wanted to share that mindset because it's super common to get frustrated. It's super common to feel like maybe I should quit. Maybe this isn't right for me. Maybe I'm doing it all wrong, you know? If you think that process, I want you to tell yourself, that's good. If you get frustration, I want to be the first, if somebody else has never told you this, to tell you that is good. You must allow a small block period of time to feel the frustration, because frustration, what that means, like when I was being raised, frustrating just meant that I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But now in my adult years, I've realized frustration actually means progress. Frustration actually means progress. Now, why is that? Why does that mean progress? It means progress because if you're frustrated, then it means you haven't quit yet. And it means that you're still looking. And it means that if you're continually frustrated and you're still looking for answers, one of my old coaches said to me 10 years ago, like I always go back to my old coaches, thank God for them, because they really poured it onto me. He said, if you're frustrated, it means that you can only do something wrong so many times until eventually you figure it out and your brain makes it happen, until you can do it in a way that's quote unquote right, or in this case, effective. So when we get into this stuff, please make that note, okay? You're gonna get a little frustrated, most likely. It's just part of the process, and allow yourself to go through that experience, okay? Now, in regards to the actual workout, I'm sure Helen's got some additional things that she'll want to share. Actually, let me check in with you real quick. Did you want to give them more on your specifics before I talked about the how, or did you want me to just get into it? It's up to you.
Well, I'll just share a little bit.
Yeah, please do.
Like, I think I'm like most of you ladies who really didn't believe in weightlifting. In the past, I thought weightlifting is only for men, only for people who wanted to look muscular.
Right.
Little did I know that that weightlifting, so many women the last year come up to me, I want to look like you, but I don't want to lift weights. I don't want to go to the gym. I just wanted to lose 10 pounds. What can I do? And same thing as with me too. So many of you, like Anna mentioned earlier, probably never try weightlifting in your life before, right? You probably think it's not for you. But And I believe after going through it myself, the only way, for my body to transform is doing something really out of my comfort zone. Resistant exercise, strength training, something is going to really transform your body is like something you never thought you would do. Right on.
That's so true. Actually, Melissa just wrote down in the comments, she said, me too. That's what I thought too for years. Never wanted to weight lift until last year. Now, Melissa, since we showed it last time, I'm assuming it's probably okay that we do it again. I love showing off people here that got results. And I just want to share hers really, really quickly so everybody can understand and get an illustration of what weightlifting does with proper nutrition. I don't have a lot of the photos, one second, but I do have, one second here. I do have this one of Melissa that we showed in the last, there we go. Just give me a thumbs up real quick if you can see her photo. Yeah. So this is Melissa with her at-home workout program. She averages about 8 to 10 minutes in the morning, and then she'll go home after work and she'll work out for about an hour in her house. Now, this is also based on a transformation of her doing it herself with a little bit of our advice. And if you notice a difference, this is actually only within 5 weeks. So this is not 6 months, it's not 12 months. And I love saying that because sometimes people look at this and they go, yeah, hey, this isn't bad for a year. I'm like, a year? What do you mean? This is 5 weeks. Now, I want to ask you, as you look at her photo, ask yourself, no matter where you're starting, no matter what your body looks like now, if you could have a transformation in just 5 short weeks, because no matter what, the time is going to come by no matter what, right? So in 5 weeks, if you could have parts of your body slim and trim the way that Melissa is so kindly sharing with us here, and whether it be in the midsection, whether it be the arms, the glutes, whatever it is, if you could see a transformation in your own body in just 5 weeks on an hour a day average, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, and not going to an expensive gym, not getting, a $5,000 a month coach, trainer, whatever it is, you're doing it at home by yourself. If you could experience these kinds of results for yourself every 5 weeks, what would that do for you? What would that do for your body, for your energy? What would that do for your own self-confidence? I mean, all of us want more confidence. I love getting more confidence as much as I can. So does Helen. We all can never get enough. If you knew that you could have total control over your performance and results, what would that do for you as a whole? And that's really what today's call is all about. It's about being able to exercise, train, perform in a way that gives you the results that you want, that you expect to have, but not have the guesswork of going, well, how exactly do I do this? I mean, you're gonna have a generalization here, so you'll have a little bit of your own at-home research to do. But we are helping you in the sense of putting you in a direction where you're not looking everywhere, but you're looking in 1 or 2 or 3 different options that you get to choose from that give you the faster results, almost as if you had paid $5,000 to have a coach with you for 90 days, looking over your shoulder, counting the reps for you. You don't have to go that route because the knowledge here can give you a similar result. At least that's what we believe. Okay, before Helen gets her last share, have something to write with for the next section, something to jot notes down. Because I'm gonna go over 5 major details that we want you to have. And we know that the moment you start using this for yourself, for your life, for your daily routine, no matter what level of fitness you're at, whether you're just starting or whether you've been at this for quite some time and getting results, we believe the next few minutes is gonna help you propel to another level of your performance and your results. So we really want you to not just hear it, but we want you to keep this, okay? Helen, do you wanna share anything in that section more before we switch over?
You mean the weightlifting?
Yeah, but because you had so much you wanted to share. I want to make sure you get your time.
I do. I didn't realize weightlifting was so effective in for my body to transform, and I didn't have to run anymore. I didn't have to. Basically, it's just like my body lose. It burns calories fast, even when I'm sitting, even when I'm not doing much, because I realize even though I eat the same, but still my body, I guess the muscle was burning more calories. So I mean, you understand the scientific behind this, but I noticed I get the same result. I didn't have to do other exercise besides an hour in the gym, lifting heavy weights, and the effect is my back. I used to have back pain, right? Gaining 55 pounds, carrying my babies, and during my pregnancy, I love to eat. So I gained 55 pounds each. I don't know if that have any pressure on my back. And after giving birth, I always had back pain. So doing the weight training didn't not also help me burn calories fast, but also gave me a lot of strength in the back. So many advantage for me when I started weightlifting. Right. So for some of you ladies who might only believe that weightlifting is to build muscle and look muscular, but so to my surprise, when I go to the gym, I see so many elderly individuals. Even though I mentioned this before, this 73 years old lady, she was doing chin-up. She was so strong, and she inspired me. So inspired me to do more weightlifting. And again, the exercise, whatever you're doing, running is great, but it would not help you build a muscle around the glutes.
Right. All the additional things like running and swimming, they're definitely, like if you're doing that now, ladies, please don't stop it. We're not saying that. And Helen would never say something like that to you, but she is trying to stress that if that is what you're using for your fitness, keep that as an add-on, like the icing on the cake. But if you're looking to target certain parts of your body, like your glutes, like your stomach, it's going to take a little bit more of focus training, what we call targeted training, in order to be able to develop that part of the body. And now we're going to dig in. Let me just switch over to my screen.
Yeah, your screen. I'm on the screen.
That look like, Alan, switch it.
It happened the other day.
Like we said, we're not perfect at this. We're regular people, we mess up, and it's live, right? So you're going to see us when we do all sorts of interrupts. So just bear with us. But when it comes to the actual part of the training, here's what we need. We all need to utilize if our goal is to make transformation as rapidly possible as what our bodies can do. And what's shocking is a lot of times what we think our bodies can do in terms of rapid performance, recovery, transition, a lot of times the mind think it's going to be so far away. And like in Helen's case, what we discover, and in several others, is that even in Melissa's 5 weeks, is that when you know exactly what to do, the results happen a lot faster. And that's really what today's call is all about, right? Being able to do it in a way that's faster, that still keeps you safe. We want to avoid injury. So you're going to notice I stress that a lot. And that's just because of my martial arts background. Guys used to get hurt all the time when I was training under a different coach. So I've got a firsthand experience of seeing what happens to people when they are not careful with their bodies. So I'm a little crazy with the safety part. So bear with me if I overdo it sometimes, okay? But here's what I'm gonna ask you guys to do, ladies and gents. Number one, when it comes to any type of working out, we've already covered that you gotta make sure you're hydrated. You gotta make sure there's electrolytes. I didn't say it yesterday, so I'll say it today. You need at least, and this is just my opinion, okay? To keep your body safe from excess injury, which is what we wanna avoid, you need a minimum of 3 days, preferably 5, where you've continued to water load your body. So you are fully hydrated. That's really important. When you're drinking regular water, the core of your body, so the torso area per se, is usually hydrated enough, because when we drink, that's the first place it goes. The potential of injury that we see is common, especially for people that are just starting or targeting certain parts like your abs or your butt, is usually in the limbs, the arms and legs. And that's because if we underwater or if we underhydrate, it doesn't seem to get out there as much as it needs to. So you need 3, preferably 5 days of consistent water loading, okay? Please make sure. Once you've done that, the next portion to start transforming your body to become leaner, sexier, toner. Every single workout you do, whether at home or at a gym, you want to give yourself 5 minutes minimum, preferably 10, of what we call fascia stretching or fascia warming, okay? Fascia stretching or fascia warming. Well, what is that? Why is that important? Fascia, in the most simplest way that I can explain, is like, imagine inside your body, you've got your skin and you've got your muscle, right? Well, between the skin and the muscle is this elasticy stuff that keeps the muscle in place, that keeps its formation, and it protects your muscle from excess damage, and that's called the fascia. The fascia is important to warm because even if your muscles are ready to go, if they're primed, if your fascia is not warmed as well, a lot of times it's trying to do its job of protecting your muscles, but if it's too tight, if it's too dense, and if it's not loosened, a lot of times the fascia can get injured, which you'll know you've injured it when you're doing some sort of exercise and then you're done the exercise and you get this pain, but the pain does not go away. Like it's still there 20 minutes later, half an hour later, an hour later. That's a bad sign, okay? Now, if you've worked out the muscle, you're gonna get a pain too. So this is where it gets confusing for some people. They're like, well, okay, wait a minute. You're saying I get a pain no matter what, right? Yes, but one's a good pain, one's a bad pain. What's the difference? The difference is if you've worked the muscle properly, the muscle should feel like it's tired, like it's a little tender, a little sore. That's good. Those are your indications that you've worked the muscle. The time that you know that you've damaged or potentially damaged the fascia is when you're not moving at all. And the pain, usually, not in all cases, okay, but in most of the cases that I've had, both with Helen, myself, and with my 400 other athletes, it's usually a very sharp, pinpointed pain or discomfort that will appear even if you're not moving. Even if you're not moving. Now, this is important because you're on your own, right? Like we won't be there with you to do your transformations. So you want to know, when I get this pain, which one is it? And you want to be careful because when it comes to fascia, if you accidentally break it, it will heal. But in many cases, it takes months. I don't know if you guys have heard that term, plantar fasciitis, and that's where it's super common. That's why I'm bringing it up. It's where athletes don't properly warm up and their feet, the fascia in their feet tear. I had mine tear in 2011 because I foolishly stretched cold in the middle of December in the middle of an MMA ring. And I heard something in my foot go, I was like, oh, no big deal. And then when I went home, I was in searing pain, like I felt like somebody took a knife or something and shoved it in my foot. I had to get my friend to drive me to the hospital because it was the first time I ever felt it. I was in searing pain. I couldn't understand what was going on. And it was gradual. It was like, oh, okay, I'm okay during class. After class, a little bit of pain. After class, more pain. A few hours later, by the evening, I was calling my friends because I was too embarrassed to call 911. That's how foolish I was. But I'm telling you this because I don't want you to go through that problem. Okay, this is the beginning of either your current journey or this is the beginning of going to that next level of your current fitness. We want to make sure you're able to continue safely. Okay, so wrap that up. 5 to 10 minutes, any type of warm up to warm up the fascia. So that could be something light, like if you're at home, I get my athletes to do quarter squats. So instead of a full squat up and down, they literally, like it looks foolish, but it works. They're just going up and like they're literally just doing this for like a minute. And then they start going deeper. And then they start going deeper. And then their body is starting to get warm. Okay, baby yourself. If I had to sum this section up, baby yourself for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, that's number one. Number two, take a second to figure out which part of my body do I want to transform now? Which part of my body do I want to transform now? That is a very important question to ask yourself, because as we said on day one, when you ask yourself the questions, your RAS starts to kick in. And if it starts to kick in, not only will you be able to utilize more of the details here in this call, but as you go about your life, as you get more exposed to social media, YouTube, posters, walking by gyms, talking to other fitness people that you might bump into along the way, your mind will start to pinpoint what the benefits are. And before you know it, you become the person who's not just living life, but you're living life and totally honed in to anything and everything that can give you the benefits that you want. That can give you the benefits of what you want. Okay? It's super important. That's also important because when we start working out, if the goal is to work the glutes, but we're swimming all the time, well, that's good, because any type of cardiovascular movement will allow the body fat to start to lower. And then the lean muscle mass will start to raise. If you want your body to show in appearance, like if you want to look lean, toned, sexy, the body fat has to go down to a certain point. Please make a note of this. The average female that I've met, that usually if you're anywhere around 5 foot to 5'5", you need the body fat to be anywhere from 22% to as low as 19% in body fat. And that's important because if you don't know your body fat percentage, which we'll discuss later on, then what'll happen is you'll gain muscles, lean muscles, you'll feel good, you'll feel sexy, you'll feel strong. You'll go through your day and the things that used to make you tired won't make you tired anymore. You'll be like, wow, this is amazing. But when you look in the mirror, what you see might not be what you want to see or what you deserve. And it gets frustrating when someone goes through that experience and goes, well, wait a minute. Why don't I look the way I feel? Like, I feel good, but I'm not seeing that in the mirror. Well, the simple solution is that the muscles that you've developed are just hidden. That's it. Okay, so it's really important to know that your body fat is lowering in certain parts of whatever it is you want to target. Okay? Now, for the sexy parts, I'm going to, you guys keep looking at my face all day, which is, it's fine, but I need you guys to be able to see some more female examples. Well, there's examples in general. And I love using Helen's and Melissa's and Irina's, and even mine not so much. You guys can check out the ladies more, but it's so nice to be able to take their experiences, their results, and demonstrate or show you through visuals and just talk about it. Now, I brought this one up before. This is Irina. Irina has been working with us since October, November, somewhere there. All of the results you see here in the screen is from her working out in her house. For those of you that have never seen her before, she works out 3 days a week at 30 minutes per session. That's it. 30 minutes per session. Okay. And I'm stating that because as you look at the screen, I want you to notice the obvious difference that her body has obviously changed from at-home workouts. But in more detail, which is what I'm about to share with you, is how she's managed to transform. How she's managed to transform once the body fat has continued to lower, and you can see the muscles. The next phase is, well, we need the muscles to pop out. We need them to have some shape. Helen was talking about how her backside was very flat and it looked like, what did you say it looked like? It looked like a what? Oh, never mind. She's on mute. You have to unmute yourself.
There you go. Yes.
You said your backside?
Yeah. It was flat. It was flat.
I have a photo of that. Okay, so she would never allow, like she used to.
Yeah, I was too embarrassed to take the picture. I thought.
Beat me to a pulp every time I said I put on my camera. But this is good. This is good. Like it's so nice because, okay, this is 6 months in, right? This is 6 months in. So what we can see here is she had already started to make the transformation. So her glutes were already starting to lift, but it was still flat here on the sides, right? She still had some cellulite in the back, which thankfully she's managed to help disappear. But what I'm stating on this, the reason why we're looking at this is because when you want to make the transformation, it's very important to look at what is the part that you want to transform, which we've discussed. And number two, what is the angle of the fibers, the muscles that are in that particular area? What direction do they go? So in other words, we're looking at Helen's before glutes, and what we see is just a pair of glutes, right? We just see a butt. But under that, under the skin, are muscles that go in several directions. The bottom part, for example, the muscles don't go up and down. They go sideways. Here, if you can see my cursor, right? If you look at the side part of her glutes, the muscles actually go left to right, slightly, with a 45-degree turn, right? So it's slightly angled, but they go basically left to right. If you look at your glutes from the top, it actually goes at a higher, almost 90-degree angle. So it's a higher 45-degree angle. Now, why is that important? It's important because if you do a one-dimensional workout, let's say squats, and you do squats all day, and you squat and squat and squat, you're the squat queen. You can squat from morning till night, no problem. Well, what'll happen is you'll develop the muscles that support the squat, which essentially is the quads over here, which is the hamstrings here in the back, if they're wide angle squats, and usually the side of the glutes. But if the goal is to make the glutes firmer, sexier, give them more volume, it means that the bottom of the glutes, the side, and the top of the glutes have to be activated. Which leads me to my next question, that if you've been working out, okay, ask yourself, the part that you've been wanting to focus on, have you been working out in a way where you've been able to target all angles, all muscle fibers in the particular area? Or have you managed just to stick to one or two routines that you thought would have given you the results, but maybe they didn't give it to as much as you would have hoped to? And now, this isn't for right or wrong, okay? For anybody that knows me, I'm the last person to ever make somebody wrong. This is an education though, and it's important. It's important to know that when we put our effort into something, we obviously want to get the most out of our time spent. And the easiest solution that we can share on this call is to ask you to just recognize when you're doing your workouts, are you hitting those muscles in all the required directional angles?
You know, Alan, I'll just jump in a little bit.
Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Honestly, before the workout, in the gym, I didn't even know I have 3 pairs of different muscles in my glutes. I thought there was only one.
Right. Not everybody does, right? We don't learn this. It's not like we grow up learning this stuff unless you've been in the fitness industry, right? So this is important to know. And thankfully, it's so easy to share this advice, because before you would have had to go to school, you would have had to take a week or a month or a year, take a course where you drove to some place, you had to work, it was so challenging before. But now look, we're sharing some really good practical advice that has allowed this young lady over here, this 50-year-old lady that still looks 30.
Oh my goodness.
To go from these thighs, from these glutes, and to manage to, body And just with the simple progressional knowledge that she applied every single day, she managed to get toned. She managed to take the body parts that she wanted. Like she used to complain about her arms and she used to say, oh my God, they flap so much like they're flapping in the wind. And I was like, it's okay, we'll fix it. And then she complained, she's like, I don't have a butt. Doesn't matter which way I stick it. It just looks like a piece of paper or whatever, like a pencil, something like that. I forgot what she said because I could feel her pain and I just chose not to remember that part. But
I like the side. I like the side, like a dimple inside now, right? So
right. And that's why we're showing this off, because when you know how to target your muscle groups, you have more control over the results you can produce. And today is all about you having the results you want in a very simplistic way that might be a little confusing at first, but it's just new. Right? It's new, like anything. Like go back to the first time that you ever drove a car. You know, most people now, you can probably drive a car while you're talking, while you have a cup of coffee in your hand, even while you're texting. And obviously don't do that because it's illegal. But if you had to, you have the skills to do that because you've done it so much. But go back to the first day when you were driving. Was it that easy back then? Heck no. No, it just took a little time and you eventually adjusted, right?
And having a six-pack at this age, I never thought like this is possible.
Let's pull up the six-pack shot. This is as close as I can.
No, look at it. It's a six-pack.
Well, you know, it's in there. You're just angled in a different way because the judges asked you to pose differently. But this is actually good because some of you have said, how do I lean my midsection? So let's dig into this. When it comes to the midsection, everybody, I mean, let me ask you, when you work on your abs, what do you do? Most people would say, I do crunches, or I do sit-ups, or I do some leg lifts, or maybe I plank, right? Now that's great. Now, as you answer that question, answer this one as well. How many muscle groups are here in the abs? Well, let's take a look. We've got, for simplicity's sake, because there's no need to get overly technical, we've got the upper abs, we've got the lower abs, but we also have the side abs, what we call the obliques, right? Now, when we look at the obliques, you can see it right here. You guys see that lining on Helen's stomach on the side? I mean, it's very light, but you can get a good glimpse of it, right? The reason why I'm pointing this out is because if you want to tighten the abs, you need a motion that goes in this direction. And if you don't build while utilizing this motion to go in this direction, these don't build. They don't come out, right? Do you notice that over here on her abs, she has that center line? So it's almost separating her left and right side abdominal muscles. Some women like it, some don't. The point of that explanation is you can only get that if you're able to target that area. And the way to target it is to look at what direction are the muscles moving. Are they going left or right, up and down, or kind of at a 45-degree angle? That's generally how muscles are. Like there's not too many directions that muscles go. And then ask yourself, is there workouts that are being incorporated to move along the same direction as the muscles? Now, as different as that sounds, it's actually amazing. It's fun. I think it's fun because in the past, there's always been, with the people that I got to know and the clients I got a chance to work with, even with Helen, there was a little misconception about, you know, it must be genetics, or it must be like, oh, if you're a certain age, or if you're, all these other things. And now what we're learning is the only real knowledge that's required is to just ask yourself, either do I know how to target that muscle in the direction that it's going, right? So obliques, it's top to bottom, right? For abs, it's basically a crunch because they go along the side, up and down along the side, right? Or do I not know? So it's either you just know it or you don't know it. And if you know it, great. This won't be new for you. If you didn't know that before, you now have an amazing gift that I believe is a gift, because As long as you always want to make an improvement, the only thing you've got to know is which way is that muscle going? How is it attached in my body? And what exercise can I do to allow me to move in the direction of where that muscle's going? The moment that you start to apply that one simple principle into your daily routine is the moment that you start to see these dramatic changes. And I gotta tell you, even for myself, when I first started, I was like, this is my before and after, and this was me already 3 months in, okay, into my training. So I was a lot bigger, chubbier, fatter back then, before this, and I was too embarrassed to ever take a picture in my entire life. But I had the typical bodybuilder, chubby, loading, kind of overeating kind of frame because I didn't understand all these concepts. I used to go to the gym and I used to say to myself, okay, I'm just going to go and do bench press. I'm going to do deadlift. I'm going to do all the basic compound movements. And that's it. That's all I need. But what happened is when I got to the right side, let me switch the photo. The definition that I was able to gain was tremendous. But the only thing that changed for me was that I learned how to target the angle of the muscle. So like, for example, here, if you look at my back muscles, they're much wider here than they are here, right? And the reason is because the lat muscles go in this particular direction. So that's why we do pulling motions, because it goes along the lining of the muscles. If you look at the upper back here compared to the one on the left, you notice that the upper back muscles protrude, they stick out. Well, they stick out because the muscles in the upper back, they just go left to right. So all you need is a motion that provides resistance that basically activates it from left to right. Now, if you know that, let me ask you something. If you knew that and you walked into any of your gym routines or your home workout routines, how much more do you think you would get in progression, in results, in your ability to perform and see the changes in your own self if you always knew that all you had to do to make the change is just target that muscle in the angle that it's going? And I know I keep honing in on this. Is because if there's anything I don't want anyone to do, is I don't want any of us to go through that experience where we just go back to a routine where it was good and it made a difference for us. We got a little healthier. But what I don't want any of us to go through is where we're going through weeks and weeks with no progression or very little. I mean, have you ever gone through that before? Have you ever done something where you thought, okay, you know, I'm into this and I can see some results, but it's so little, I could barely see it. Like some of my clients would be like, Alan, look at my photo. I think I can see an ab. I'm like, you think you can see an ab? They're like, yeah, if I turn it to this way so I get a little more lighting, and if I add this filter, then I can see my ab more. Like it's painful to hear them just try so hard to see the results when really it's not their effort. Their effort was solid. It was just like a GPS, right? You put the GPS for this particular address and it takes you to that address. Most people, when they first start working out, they treat the GPS like it's a whole city. Like, I want to go to this part of Vancouver, but I'm just going to type in my GPS, Vancouver. And then the GPS kind of goes, okay, well, I'll bring you somewhere close, but not dead center to where you want to go. This action of targeted training makes your performance work like a very targeted, like a laser focused GPS. And once you start adding this to your daily routine, the amazing transformations that you can have, like when you look at Irina's, when you look at Melissa's, when you look at Helen's, or you look at mine, as amazing as they are, we're here to tell you that anything we've done, you can do. Any transformation we've experienced, you can have. And that's not just some fluff. These are different people from different times, from different locations that have different backgrounds, yet we can all make our transformations come to life because the one thing that we all have the same is the approach to targeting the muscles in a way that demands the muscle to grow. Like there is no ifs, ands, maybe, buts, I hope it'll, no, none of that. It must grow. And that's the beauty of this type of performance, because when you know how to target it, the guesswork is gone. Like if you knew without a shadow of a doubt that in 90 days from today, you could look 5, 10, 15 years younger, you could feel 10, 20, 30, 50% more energetic. If you knew without a shadow of a doubt that if you just took 1% of your day, 1%, which is like what, 20, 30 minutes, give or take, of your day, and just committed it to one part of your body, and in 90 days, you could have 10 to 20 years of your youth back. Would it be worth it? I think most of us would say yeah. And this is the first step. After you manage the preparation, after you activate your RAS, and you're actually in the physicality of making the transformational change, targeted training is the first thing that we recommend doing. And obviously, for the sake of this call, we can't show you everything because that's a whole week, or a whole week of like 12 hours a day of knowledge. But what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate the how to find it, both with Helen's workouts, some of my own, so you can see variations. And then we're going to give you some resources that you can use as well. So if you want to find your own answers, you're not lost. You're not going, okay, I'm going to wait for Helen's video. Wait for Alan's video. Like, ours are good too. Use ours, obviously. That's why we're here in the call. We want to share. But we always want you to know that there are multitudes of resources online that are at your fingertips to show you in detail, many times for free, on how to make the transformations you want. So at the end of the day, you are never, ever lost on what to do and on how to do it. Helen, did you want to jump in here real quick? Because I want you to, if it's cool.
I do.
There you go. I want to ask you to share a little bit about, in closing, a lot of these women don't know your story in terms of like 2018, 2019, 2018 when it was more casual, 2019 when it was more targeted. Can you just share with them a little bit about what's the difference between 2018, 2019 for you in terms of like, what were you doing for life and for lifestyle workout in both years?
Well, in 2018, of course, I wasn't serious, first of all. I wasn't that obsessed with my body yet. And I wasn't able to really get into or understand much because my knowledge of exercise is very limited until I met you. You actually didn't just teach me, didn't give me the workout, you educate me. The skills that I have was able to understand why you do it. As you know, I always ask you questions, right? And but because you have massive experience, you are a good teacher because you have so many students. You just didn't give me the workout and not have me understand. You want me to understand because we here, ladies, to give you a set of skill set. Because eventually, if we show you workout, you have no idea why you're doing it. The important thing is to understand why. So in the future, there'll be times in your life when you gain extra, when you pounds, or when you fall, and you have the skill, you will be able to get back up again, right? So Alan I'm very lucky to have met him through kickboxing, and also he's someone who has so much experience understanding somebody's body or himself who has transformed, and also teaching so many students. He's just not just a trainer, but he's passionate about people, really wanted to see them get the body they want. Some of you probably go to the gym, some trainer just throw you a bunch of 10-15 minutes workout here and there, and then you probably, okay, I've done my workout, but did you actually get the workout you want for your body? And also, do you feel that the trainer is really focused on you, or just the time you spend over there? But for me, I made sure I get what I want, and Ellen was able to give me what I want every day. Okay, did I get my workout done? Did I get what do you call it? Was it worth my time and also his time? So, and then 2019, when I started a little bit more focused, really got into more educated about the workout, I was more focused. And so that's the difference. We're here to educate you. So when you go to the gym, you have some knowledge, and you work out with a purpose. And also, like he mentioned earlier, in the past, I didn't even know there are 3 muscles in my glutes, and knowing it, and often in the past in the gym, I would complain, why are we doing the same exercise? And then Ellen would say, well, this exercise for this muscle, this exercise for this, they all seem similar to me, but because Ellen is very knowledgeable in every part of the body, so I was able to get the result.
Agreed. The moment she was able to pick up the fact that the workouts were similar, but they were targeting different parts of her body, that's when she really started to take off, because not only could she do the similar but slightly different workouts with a lot more enthusiasm, but she did it because the enthusiasm kept building, because every week her body changes relatively fast, because it's constantly being stimulated by new workouts, new routines. Like, we never did the same thing twice within 3 weeks to a month. It was always something different. But because we constantly changed it, it allowed her body to take what I've seen 3 years worth of hard work and transformation and condense that into 12 months, not 12 years, 3 years down to 1 year, essentially. Now, am I saying that happens to everybody? No, absolutely not. What I am saying is that once applied, you don't be surprised if what used to take 6 months for you takes maybe 4 or 3. Or if you're a person that takes 90 days to see a transformation, don't be shocked if you see it in half the time. All you've got to do is remember to utilize this principle of consistently targeting those muscles in different angles. And again, for the sake of time, we're not going to show some here because we're about to wrap up. But as the days go by, we're going to start posting different examples of videos of workouts that you can use for yourself at home, anytime that you like, any place you like, so you can start experiencing that transformation for yourself as well. So there are some questions here as well. Again, for the sake of time, what we're going to do is we're going to answer them on a separate video. So as the questions come in, please keep pouring it in. We're more than happy to take the time to do that. We're just going to make a separate video for those questions, because we got to talk about the homework real quick. For those of you that want a $50 Amazon gift card or 30 minutes private coaching with the exclusive Toned at 50 Helen Fong and myself, whichever one you want to take, it's one or the other. And we also got to talk about who won. Can't forget that. Somebody won yesterday, right?
Yes.
Somebody won. Good. So let's dig into who. Oh, sorry. Let me take a step
back. The homework first, isn't it?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm jumping. Homework for day 3, ladies. For day three. Here's what we're gonna do. For day 3, nice and simple. We're gonna ask you for just 2 simple things. Number 1, we're gonna ask you to make a note of which body part do you want to target. Which body part do you want to target? So it could be your glutes, could be your abs, could be the back of your arms. Obviously, we want an all-around improvement. And if you're the type of person that says, I just want to get going, hey, that's perfect. If you're just a full body, like, I just want to get started, I just want to make a change all around, that's perfect. Good for you. That's what we're here for. Also, if you want something specific, please make a note of that, because number two, we're going to ask you to just share with us what is something that you normally do anyway to target that particular part of your body. So if it's abs, if the common thing you do, like which many of us do, is just sit-ups, then we're just going to ask you to share. I just do sit-ups, and I do maybe 10 or 20 or however many, in one session, and I'll do that session once a week, 2 times a week, 4 times a week, whatever, right? The last part is to do it live. I see the faces. They're like, what are you talking about? So as we always said in every single call, this is the comfort zone, right? This is the comfort zone. But for us to get what we want, everything that we want is just a little bit outside that comfort zone. And part of why we've built this group is because we want you to have the freedom, the ability, the comfort, the safety of being in an enclosed environment where everybody's here to support themselves, to support each other, and to give each other that space to try new things, to try something uncomfortable, and to give ourselves a chance to grow without being like looked at, without getting negative commentary. Like, you know, the world is negative enough, but in here with you ladies, with us, no. Everything we want to do here is either to inspire each other, to educate each other, and to help each other get those results. Helen does not believe that she's the only woman in the world who deserves to have fantastic results. She is here to pour that all to each and every single one of you. And I'm here to make sure that not only that happens in a way that clicks in, but I'm also able to share it in multiple different ways. So if one explanation didn't work, we'll find you another one. If that one didn't work, we'll find you another one. That didn't work, we'll find you another one. We're good at finding results. And we want you to have those results and share them here in the group with us. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I feel so good to be at this age. So many of you ladies in your 50s, late 40s, probably go through many changes in your life. And I'm here to let you know that physically, it can be so much better, bring a better version for yourself for the next 10, 20 years. And there's so much space up here. It would be nice to see all of you guys up here with me. So that's why I'm here. And some of you already know who I am. I was a mom for 20 years and I wanted to go out and make an impact in the world. And now I'm sharing a little what I know, but Ellen is sharing all he knows here. So that's why we're here.
Absolutely, I agree. And to answer that question from Melissa, do you want the exercise on what we target, or do you just want us to talk about it? For the homework, we'd prefer that if you can demonstrate it, please do it. But if you're in a place like, let's say you're at work, let's say you're driving in your car. I'm amazed that some of you guys are just doing your videos in your car. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. If you can only talk about it, then please, that's perfect. Do it. Explain it to us as much detail as you can. But if you can demonstrate it, then that would be even better. Because part of this exercise is not just for you or for me or for us, but it's so other people that are watching that don't make the live call, if they can see what you're doing, it really helps them. So now this becomes the ultimate win-win, because you're winning because you're gaining knowledge, you're getting the exercise, you're seeing the transformation as time goes by. But now you're also helping somebody else who probably knows much less than you or I do. And they're here just to get going and they need some advice, but maybe they're too nervous to ask, right? There's been so many times where I've been nervous to ask people, but watching their videos has really helped me transform. And that's what you're now doing for the other ladies here. Some of the other ladies maybe as well.
Yes. Yeah. I'll tell you a secret too, ladies. By going on a live video, some of you ladies might want to get confident and then on video, but just making a decision to go on live will give you the confidence. How am I supposed to explain this? I remember I'll do this when I have more confidence, but the moment you just get rid of that fear and go on video, that will build up your confidence. I believe people mistaking that idea of gaining confidence. So I know some of you wonder why I said that, because I was like you. In the past, I was afraid to go on video, so scared. Even now, still a little bit scared. But little by little, I'm able to get better. And I remember I wouldn't even speak to my own phone because I didn't want to hear my voice. And then I didn't want to look at my face in the video. But what I'm trying to encourage you, lady, if you have that fear, having fear is okay, it's good, because it is making you want it to change, right? But one step recommended is doing things to overcome that fear, and it will make you feel so much better.
Right, totally agree. And what better place to do it than in an exclusive environment like this, where we're all safe and we're all able to have the ability to share openly and willingly. This is such a great place to do it. You're right. I totally agree.
And if you can do it here, it will also help you in other areas in your life that you have fear. So this is something very small that you can practice.
Right. Absolutely. So to close off, ladies, real quick, homework again one more time. Number 1, go live inside our group. Number 2, talk about the targeted area that you want to work on, or if it's just the whole thing, that's totally fine. Number 3, explain to us or demonstrate how you're going to target that area. And then hashtag it with hashtag TA50 day 3, hashtag TA stands for toned at 50, TA50 day 3. We'll check out those videos tonight, and then we'll talk about tomorrow who won for today's challenge, which we're always excited to share. And that's the last part of what we got to share before we wrap up this call today, Ms. Fong. So,
well, first of all, I wanted to thank you, lady, for all the wonderful videos and the homework. It was hard for me to choose, but we have to choose one for today and hopefully more tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So today's winner, and again, it was hard. It was difficult, and
everybody did such a good job.
Yes.
Yeah.
And today's winner is Lisa.
Oh, it's Lisa. Hey, congratulations, Lisa. Way to go. Virtual high five. Pop. I usually do that with Winnie. Pop. And everybody else too. Awesome job. Helen will get in touch with you so you can pick which offer you want to take, whether it's the Amazon gift card or the 30-minute coaching call with me and her. And everybody else, we want to remind you that the cards are nice, the call times are nice, but what's really amazing, the real win here, is you taking your own action, you making that transformation for yourself, you having that knowledge that no matter what happens to you, you always have a way to make yourself become stronger, leaner, better, happier overall, because you're not just stuck feeling like, oh, I don't know what to do. By the end of these 7 days, you will always have an answer. And if you don't, you will then have an ability to find it. So we're so happy to be able to share that with all of you today. Any closing comments real quick, Ms. Helen Fong, before we go?
No, thank you so much, Ellen and ladies, for coming on board today. And like I said earlier, if you have any comments, what else you want us to share with you in the next few more days, we would love to do that, because you could take your time, you join my group. I am just honored to share what we know.
Absolutely. We're honored to have all of you here. So please, whenever you're watching this, have a great morning, afternoon, evening. We're so happy to have you here. Excited to see all your transformations and looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow for day 4 of our 7-day transformation call. Have yourself a great afternoon, a great day, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you. Thank you, Ellen.